Hello guys, I'm Hassan from Global Friends, and in this video we're gonna fill DS-160 specifically for your J1 visa application. And this video is exclusive for citizens of Uzbekistan. So we're gonna have so many information specific for Uzbek citizens. So let's start. We're gonna be discussing the following topics. So we're gonna be talking. I'm gonna be talking about documents you need, necessary information for this DS-160 application form, and we're gonna be actually filling the application form together. So let's start with the documents. So necessary documents to complete this form are your travel passport, your red passport, and your national ID card or green passport, and your DS-2019 form, your job offer or job description if it's official. So if it has been signed by you and your employer already, it is perfect. And your 5:5 digital photo. Okay, let's start with the travel passport. Your travel passport is your red passport. So it is important to use always this spelling of your name, which is in English alphabet, when anything including the DS-160 asks for your full name. So for these fields, we're going to be using this spelling of this particular student. And also when they are asking for the passport number, always use this passport's number, nothing else. Okay. And your national ID card or your national passport, which is a green passport, we're going to be also using those spelling of your name is so in Uzbek alphabet only for this field, for nothing else. Remember, we're going to be using only your travel passport for filling anything in English or official, and we're going to be using this spelling of your name only for this field. Okay, so if you have already mentioned, so this sample student's last name is spelled with Q in this specific case, on his national ID card, on his driver's license, and also it would be spelled like this on his national passport, which is green passport, but in his travel passport it is spelled with K. So pay a very good attention to this, and follow the instructions that I've just shared. Okay, next document is your DS-2019 form. So you should have received your form, your DS form, from your assigned manager of Global Friends, either in digital format, in PDF format, or a hard copy of it, which has been actually shipped from the United States. So it is okay if you don't have this document in hard copy. So because from this year, the visa sponsor started issuing these documents and sending it to the students virtually. It is totally fine. Okay, and make sure you have checked all the information, specifically your name, date of birth, employer, or also known as host company information, and your program dates. Okay, so and the other information that you're gonna be using for this form are your parents' personal information, so basically their names, their dates of birth, etc., and your university summer vacation dates. If you do not know your university summer vacation dates, exact ones, please ask your assigned manager, or also we're going to be sending you a table with official summer vacation dates as well. And the last one is travel plans and your trip information. So basically the cities, the places you want to visit, and also how you're going to be arriving to the United States. You must know all this information before starting to fill this application form. So that's basically it about other information necessary for completing DS-160. Now we can start completing the actual form. So you need to go to this website, and okay, we're gonna go to it, and I'm having two windows open. So one for the DS-160 format, its actual form, online website, and the next one for documents. So these are the necessary documents: personal sample documents and DS-2019, job offer, job description, and 5:5 photo. So these all documents are just samples. So okay, let's start. You have to choose always Uzbekistan or the country that you are applying for the visa. So if, for example, if you study in Latvia and you are applying for the J1 visa in the embassy in Riga, you should choose the specific country. So in this case, we're going to choose Uzbekistan. And so go through the CAPTCHA and press start an application. There we go. Now we have started DS-160 and you're gonna get this application ID, and it is very crucial to save this ID. So we can take a screenshot of it or copy paste it to another tab to have it next to you. So yes, I should have it. Yep. Okay, just make sure you have saved it before going to the next stage. And tick I agree. And select a security question. Let's say this one and create an answer. So make sure you do not forget this security question as well. You can take a screenshot of it again, just to be on the safe side. Okay, so now we are officially inside the portal for filling visa application DS-160 form. So, okay, for surnames, given names, we always use the name spelling from red travel passport. For full name in native alphabet, which is in Uzbek alphabet in our case, we're going to be using the name spelling from the top page of your green passport, not this one, or your name spelling from your national ID card or driver's license. Okay, so let's start. For surnames, it's definitely going to be Kodirov, and given names Abdullah, and it is optional. You can provide your patronymic name, so your father's name, in this field as well if you want it, or if you don't, you can just don't provide this information. And for full name in native alphabet, it is very important that you indicate this information as well. So it's going to be Abdullah Qadirov with Q, okay, or in here, so it's the same spelling. The first name comes always first, and then last name. Here we go. Done. And if you have ever used any other names, please press yes and provide the names, previous names. If no, just no, and skip that one. And I'm 100% sure that almost all of you gonna be answering this question no, because in Uzbekistan we do not have telecodes that represent our name. So please select no, unless you are sure that you have this data. Okay, choose your gender, marital status. So if you're going to be choosing, for example, married, you will be asked to provide your spouse personal information as well. So make sure you have those as well if you are married. So we're going to be selecting single, and date of birth. We're going to be using the date of birth of the student, 25th of June 2003. So in city, so this is the city of birth. I'm sure you all know your city of birth, so it's not provided on your red passport, but on your green or national passport it is provided. For example, here this is the city of birth of this particular student. I'm also sure that you should have this information on your national ID card as well. So yes, and then the state, province is going to be Namangan region. Okay, so very important, if you, for example, your city of birth is Tashkent, state and province is going to be does not apply because Tashkent is not included by any region. It's a separate how to say location of Uzbekistan that's self-controlled. So if it is just Tashkent, press does not apply. If it is a city in any of a region or Karakal, Pakistan, please provide that information. That's it. And country is going to be Uzbekistan. If different, please select different. And we are done with the first page. Always please hit save before going to the next page, because if it's not saved and the application fails, you will lose all data that you have inserted. And we can now continue on our application, go to the next stage. Now, your nationality is your citizenship, so I'm sure almost all of you will be selecting Uzbekistan. And no, because we do not have any other nationality. If you have any, please press yes and choose. And if you are, for example, studying and living in China or Latvia, please hit yes and choose the country that you are living right now. Or if you are studying just in Uzbekistan and living in Uzbekistan, you're going to be selecting no. Okay, and then your national identification number. It is optional to we all have this number. It is provided on the bottom part of your passports here, or on the back side of your national ID card, and on your driver's license as well. So 4D is your national identification number, or on the back of your ID card. It is also provided. You can provide that information, but it is up to you. If you don't want to provide this information, or just you cannot find it, please select does not apply. Okay, and then US Social Security number. If you have been to the United States already on, for example, let's say J1 visa, and you have worked in the United States, you should have your Social Security number with you. And please provide that information. Or if you are going to the United States for the first time, you definitely don't have this number. You're going to get it next year when you arrive to the United States. So if you are going to the first time, please select does not apply. Or if you know that you have a Social Security number, provide the Social Security number. And US taxpayer ID number. If someone has a Social Security number, they don't have taxpayer ID number. I'm sure none of you haven't, so please does not apply. Hit this one, and then we're gonna save it. So this is what happens all the time. So because the portal is so secure and gives you certain time, it crashes all the time. This is why it is really important to have this application ID available so we can retrieve the application. So select Uzbekistan, go through the captcha, but this time we're going to be retrieving an application. Application ID, retrieve application, first 5 letters of surname, year or birth, it's going to be 2003. And the security question that we selected. And there we go, we are back to our application. Because we could not save the second page, we have to insert all this information again. So it does not apply, does not apply, does not apply. If you have these numbers, please provide them. Hit save, continue application, next. Okay, now we are choosing the visa that we are applying for. So you should select exchange visitor J, and then J1 visa, exchange visitor J1, not anything else. This has to be exactly like this. And then, have you made specific travel plans? For this question, always answer yes. Even if you do not have any plans, please go back, make your plans, and then start completing this application form. You should have specific travel plans because you will be applying for visa about a couple months before your arrival. This is why it is really crucial to have specific travel plans. Please hit yes and provide these information. And in here, we're going to be using other documents as well, specifically your DS-2019 form, because this document has your program dates. So for this student, the program starts on 20th of May 2024, and he has a right to arrive to the United States 5 days before this date. So for example, if you have 15th of June, you should arrive to the United States on 10th of June. So in this specific case, it should be the student should be arriving in 15th of May 2024. An arrival flight, for example, it can, if it's with Uzbekistan Airways, it's definitely going to be HY101. Or if you are arriving with different airlines, please make sure you know the flight code, flight number, and provide this information as well. We can also say Uzbekistan. Okay, let's Airways. Or actually, it's not it because the first two letters specify the airline itself. And the arrival city is going to be, for example, New York City and state of New York. And then date of departure. And it is really important as well to know the correct period time frame that you should be departing from the United States. So it has to be after this date, but before your studies begin. For example, if this student studies at Westminster International University, where studies begin on, let's say, September 10th, and this student ends his program and his work on 30th of August, so he has basically 9 to 10 days to come back to Uzbekistan. He's going to be working until this date and be travel for, let's say, 7 days until September 6th, and return home on 7th of September. So this is before his studies begin. It is really important to know this information. And then departure flight, departure city is also going to be same in, for example. But these information can be different for you. For example, if a job offer is in, let's say, Florida or Alabama, you can arrive to Miami with Turkish Airlines. So in that case, these information are going to be different. So these are case-specific questions. And then the locations that student is willing to travel. Please do not leave this field blank. You should specify what places, what states, what cities you want to visit. For example, New York City, state of New York, and maybe Washington, DC, Orlando, Florida, maybe Austin, Texas. And there we go. And now the address where you will be staying in the United States. So if you already have your housing information, which is quite rare, you can find that address of your housing, or if you don't, you can just use your employer's address. So employer's address is available on your DS-2019 form as well, or on your job offer too. So let's use this one. So this is going to be the building number and street name is going to be first line. And if there is something like postal box or, let's say, apartment number, it's going to be line 2. And then city is Ocean City. State is Maryland. Zip code is also here, 21842. That's it. Okay, now at the end, this is asking who is paying for your trip. Please do not tell that you are self-sponsoring your trip, because it's you are not. Your parents are paying for a trip, or it can be your uncle or something else. Please hit other person and provide the personal information. For example, let's say last surname, and then first name, telephone number. There we go. You can hit does not apply if your financial sponsor does not use an email. And relationship, it can be your parent, it can be your other relative if it's your, for example, your sibling, or you can just hit other. But it is recommended to indicate your parent as a financial sponsor. Okay, and yes, that's it. Hit please save. There we go. We have saved this application. Now we can continue. Okay, that's it. We can go to the next section. And this is also a very tricky question. It is asking if anyone is traveling with you. Even though that you have friends traveling with you, you should always answer no, because this question is not about your friends or any. It's not about your friends. It's about the people that are really traveling with you. It can be your, let's say, your wife or your husband or your children. That's it. For example, if you hit yes, it's going to be asking more questions, but you are traveling alone, individually. Even if you're traveling with your friends, they have a totally separate case, and you don't want to connect their application to yours because they are not relatable. Okay, always answer no. Even if you are asked this question during your visa interview, say no, because they are asking about, for example, it can be your wife or husband or children. It is not about your friends. Okay. Save. Continue application. Next. Okay, there we go. More questions. Have you ever been in the United States? If yes, please yes, and provide the details. It is pretty straightforward. So date of arrival, how long you stayed. For example, if it was work and travel, it can be, let's say, 3 months. And if you had a hold a US driver's license, hit yes and provide the information. If no, just no. Or if it's your first time, please hit no. And have you ever been issued a US visa? If yes, hit yes and provide the information. It is pretty straightforward again. If no, just no. Have you ever been refused a US visa or been refused admission to the United States? This question is really also important. If you have ever been refused a US visa. If it is your first application, please hit no. It is really nice. But if you have ever been refused a US visa, it's also not very bad. If you can explain why you have been refused a US visa before, it will not affect your current visa application. But you have to be very, responsible of explaining everything that is, that you know, okay? So this question is really tricky. It is asking if you have been refused a US visa and or been refused an admission to the United States. So you should start this explanation with a sentence that says, I have been refused a US visa, or you can specify US F1 visa, for example, last year when I was applying for it. Or you can, for example, just say last year in August when I was applying for bachelor's degree, and provide more information, please. This is quite short. It's just an example, but always start your sentence with this such sort of information. So you have been refused a US visa, so they know that it has not been an admission but just a visa. And also specify why you should have been, like, how to say, what might be the reason for your visa denial. Okay, I know that no one provides this information for you, but you should also have some sort of how to say, awareness about your case. So it is only you who knows the best about your case. This is why you should be as specific as possible. So this is really short. You should have at least, for example, just say as an example, no, you cannot copy paste it. So like 3 times of this amount of text. Okay, be really specific. Okay, has anyone ever filled an immigrant petition, blah 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 blah? No, never ever. Say yes. It is not a green card application or anything else. You are completing this form by yourself, which is really crucial because we cannot help with it. It is against rules of completing this form. Okay, and always answer no and save. There we go, and continue on your application. Go to the next section, which is about address, your more personal information. So okay, well, your street address first line should begin with building number and then street name. That's it, nothing else. Okay, or it can be, for example, Center 5 C5. You can also specify, for example, if it's all specific to the area, not building, not apartment, just provide those information here. Okay, on second line, you can provide more information, more detailed information, such as your apartment number, or let's say the floor number. That's it. Okay, and then the city. If it's Tashkent, state is always does not apply, because it does not, because Tashkent is not in any region. Or if it's, for example, let's say Chirchik, it's definitely going to be Tashkent region. And then postal code. It is important that you do not hit does not apply, because every place in Uzbekistan has a zip code, a postal code. It is really easy to find this information. For just get the city name, go to Google, and search for it. Okay, there we go. It always starts with 1, not 7. These ones are old postal codes. These ones are new ones. Always use the one that starts with 1. Okay. There we go. That's it. Or more example. Let's say if it's Samarkand, it's gonna be Samarkand region, and you can just look for the postal code of Samarkand. There we go. That's it. Easy peasy. No. Okay, yes, country is going to be Uzbekistan. Or if you are living in, let's say, in a different country and studying there, please do not show your Uzbek address, but the address that you are currently living on, okay? It can be China or Latvia, because we do have a few students from these countries. So let's make it more inclusive. There we go. Yes, that's it. Pretty easy. And then, is your mailing address the same as your home address? You can just say yes. It's not like end of the world if it's not the same, but you don't want to provide this information. Or if you are sure that you have a different mailing address, please hit no and provide your mailing address. Okay, and your phone number. Easy. If you have secondary number, provide it. If no, just hit does not apply. If you have any for work phone number, provide it. Or no, just does not apply. Have you used any other phone numbers in the last 5 years? If yes, yes, and indicate those numbers. If no, just no. Email address. It has to be your main address, because you might receive some notifications or reminders about your visa appointment, or more, how to say, important information regarding your visa application case onto this email. So make sure you provide this information correctly. So this is just a sample email. Have you used any of the email addresses in the last 5 years? So I'm pretty sure majority of you have an email address that has been provided by your university. For example, from the Westminster International University, everyone has this email. Please provide that one. It is different for all universities. So yes, this is specific to Westminster International University in Tashkent, but if your university does not provide this sort of emails, it is okay. Just hit no. Or for example, if you have a work email, you can also provide it. Please be. You can provide more detailed information. It's totally fine. For this, just an example. There we go. That's it. And then now social media. Social media. Select the social media that you actively use. For example, Facebook, and your username. What else? LinkedIn, to make it look more professional. And what else? Let's see, maybe Twitter. And it can be different usernames, for example. That's it. If you want to provide more information about your presence on different websites or applications or social media, so please hit yes, and more fields are gonna pop up. So it is not about messaging applications like Telegram or WhatsApp or WeChat, something like this. So it is about such social media platforms that is not included in this list. Okay, for example, it can be, let's say, TikTok. Provide the username, or it can be, for example, GitHub, or it can be, let's say, Behance. That's it. You can provide these information as well. If you provide more information and do not hide detailed personal information about yourself, it is good for you. Okay, make it detailed, as much detailed as possible, because it will work for the best of you all the time. That's it. Hit save and continue application. There we go. And go to the next section. So this section is about your passport. It is important to use your travel or red passport for this section, okay? Never ever use your green passport or national ID card or driver's license for this section. Always use your red passport, for this section, okay? Select regular, not official, not anything else, regular only, okay? Because your passport is just regular travel passport. And your travel document number or travel passport number, it is right here. Starts with FA or FB, and then 7 digits. Passport book number. Our passports do not have this number, So please hit does not apply. And then country authority that issued your passport is Uzbekistan. And city, so you should know where you got your passport, because this information is not provided on your passport. Okay, so it has this just code of the organization that issued your document. It's just an example. State province is going to be American region in this case, and country is going to be Uzbekistan. Issuing states is right here, 8th of August, because this is day, this is month, this is year. And expiration date is here, 7th of August 2029. Of August 2029. It is really crucial that your passport is valid at least 6 months after your program ends. Okay, for example, if your passport is expiring next year on September or October, please do not use that passport. Apply for your a new passport as soon as possible, and use that passport for filling this application form. Okay. Well, have you ever lost passport or had one stolen? No. And now we should save and continue our application. Go to the next section. This section is about a point of contact in the United States. So you should always indicate your host company representative, or just the organization name if you do not know anyone from your employer company. So let's start this. For this section, you're going to be needing your job description. And this job description is specific for GIA regions and airlines abroad students. If your sponsor is different, you're going to be having a different template. If you cannot find any information that is necessary for DS-160, please contact your assigned at Global Friends Manager, okay? They're going to be helping you. Well, there we go. Host entity information. Entity name, also known as company name, Princess Royal Hotel. This is just an example. And primary contact name, Joanne. So I will not be pronouncing this name. Okay. There we go. Joanne is going to be the first name. And this is going to be surname. Or if your job description does not have this information, you are sure, 100% sure that there is no such information, hit this do not know, and just provide the company name. This is totally fine. Relationship to you, employer. There we go. Now address is going to be somewhere on top of the job description. City, Ocean City, state of Maryland. Postal code is going to be 21842. Phone number. So phone number is also here. There we go. That's it. An email address. There we go. So because we know the name of the representative, you can provide a specific name. There we go. It is totally fine that if you hit, for example, do not know on this section, it's going to be just switching. Let's see. There we go. Now we can provide your organization name. Now we can provide just the full name of the contact person. So it is totally fine. We know that this portal has a little bug, which they did not fix. I think it is a bug. But it is better to provide the full name of the representative, okay? You don't have to provide the organization name. That is totally fine. There we go. Now we hit save. Okay. We have an error message. If you see something in red like this, it means you have some mistake on any of the fields below. Okay, let's read it. It says phone number is invalid. Phone number must be 5 to 15 digits with no space or hyphens. Hyphens means this little line. Okay, as we see, we have hyphens. We're going to be removing, so it's also going to be indicating on the particular field that has a mistake. Okay, you just need to fix this. There we go. We eliminated the issue and we could save. There we go. Continue on your application and go to next section. Nice. Okay, now this section is your about parents. You must know your parents' full name, dates of birth, and if they are in the United States or not. Okay, simple as that. So I'm gonna be just using this sample names. There we go. Is your father in the United States? If yes, yes. Provide more information. If no, no. Okay. Same about your mother. There we go. No. That's it. And now more questions about your relatives that might be in the United States. If you have any relatives, please hit yes. So we have two questions. First one is asking for your immediate relatives, and second one is about just general relatives. Okay, immediate relatives mean your, there we go, you have information, your fiance, so it can be your husband or wife, or son or daughter, or your siblings. Okay, not even your parents, not even your cousins, not even your aunts or uncles, not even your grandparents. Okay, if you have your sibling or husband or wife, please hit yes and provide more information. If no, for most of you, please hit no. But if you have any relative in the United States, like your cousin, or who else, your uncle, or your grandparent, you should answer for this question yes, and that's it. They will be asking more questions about them during your visa interview, but if you don't have anyone, just hit no. That's it. Save. Continue. Next. That's it. Now, more questions, more sections about yourself. So primary occupation. I'm sure that many of you have your career started, you have jobs, you always work even full-time, but your primary occupation is studying. You are a student for everyone. Okay, this is why for this question always choose student. And even if it says present employer or present employer on the first order, please pay attention to school name. Okay, because it says or school name, it's going to be your university name. Provide the full name of your university. There we go. And then you can just get the address of university from Google. Copy. Paste. So building number and street name is going to be first line. You don't need this information. No information for second line. City is going to be Tashkent, and state does not apply. Postal code. There we go. Phone number. There we go. So no spaces are allowed, I believe. That's it. Uzbekistan. the date of starting your studies. So let's say 20th of August 2022. So you are a student, you do not get any income from your university. Please hit does not apply. And describe it. You can say I am a full-time student majoring in, let's say, web development. I am also a distinction student and I'm included in Dean's list. Yes, that's it. You can provide some sort of description about your studies at this institution. Hit save. Continue application. Next. Now you can provide more information about your occupation. If you are working right now, or if you have any, let's say, freelance job, or if you have had any job position before that even you are not working at right now, you can provide those information. It is not, like, how do I say, it is not bad for your application. Even if you are working in logistics, okay, you can provide that information. It is totally fine. So hit yes. Provide the same information just like before. So employer organization name, their address, phone number, and your job title. For example, let's say dispatcher or something, like your supervisor's name or someone that supervises, or it can also be someone that hired you, or if it's a very small company, or if it's like a how to say, a company with a very limited number of employers, you can just indicate someone's name that you know, okay? Or if you just say self-employment, or if you're a freelancer, you can just hit do not know, or how to say, here you must say self-employed or freelancer and hit do not know, okay? Employment dates and describe it, okay? Be specific as possible. Do not just say I made websites. They know that you have made websites because you should have like provided this information like this, and you are saying I made websites. This is absurd, okay? Provide as much as details you can. You can say I started with internship and I was promoted to this position after working for 6 months, something like this. As much as information that you cannot that you find eligible to be included in this application form, okay? Because making your application form with more detailed information is really crucial and beneficial for you. Okay, but we will not be hitting yes, but no. Okay, if you have not have any job, occupation, or experience, it is also totally fine. Because you are a student, it is fine. If you don't have any experience, okay? Well, have you attended any educational institutions? So if you studied in a, let's say, a lyceum or a college, high school college, hit yes and provide more information, okay? If you're graduated just secondary school, so studied until 11th grade, just hit no, okay? So it's gonna be no, save, continue on your application, and hit next. There we go. More questions. Do you belong to a clan or tribe? No. We don't have such stuff in Uzbekistan. So, list of languages you speak. So, the first one should be the language that you are native, most comfortable in. For example, Uzbek. And then Russian. And then English. There we go. Simple as that. And then, have you traveled to any countries? If no, no. If yes, yes. Okay, start choosing from the countries that you visited first. For example, this student was in Kazakhstan for the first time, and then in, let's say, Turkey. It is better to show those countries in some sort of order, okay? Not just randomly. If you have not been to any countries, it is totally fine. Why? Because again, you are a student. You are not applying for a tourism visa, okay? You are applying for a student exchange visa. This is why it is fine that if you do not have any countries that you have previously visited. Okay, that's it. Okay, have you belonged to blah blah blah? No. More boring questions? No, please, no. These are security questions. No. No. And make sure you read all of these questions and understand them, because they might, for example, if you served in the military and you are answering no because you just skip this question, and if they ask, for example, in your visa interview, and if you're gonna be answering yes, it's gonna contradict your visa application form, and they will be just refusing your visa for nothing. Okay, this is why it's really important that you understand all these questions. Hit save, continue. That's it. Now next whole section, new section, security questions and background questions as well. Please read all these questions but answer no. No, no. But it is really important that you understand all of them. Okay, save, because I'm definitely sure that you have never had such bad experiences, because these all are security questions. For example, have you ever violated or engaged in conspiracy to violate any law relating to controlled substances? So this is like breaking laws. It's also about, how to say, discriminating people, and I'm quite sure you have never done this. I hope that you have never done this. Read all these questions and select no. There we go. Save. Continue. Next. No, 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 no. More no's. I'm just skipping these questions, not discussing it, because I know all of these questions, okay? I understand them. This is why I'm skipping them. You should never do this. Always read these questions, okay? Next. No, no, no. That's it. I saved it. Continue and go to the next final section. In this section, you should provide two point of contact, or you can call it emergency contact information. It can be a friend or neighbor that can like find you in case someone wants to contact you but cannot reach you. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna be just filling with random information, but you should not do this. Okay. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Street address. Make sure you ask them the street address before filling, and get their consent. Okay. Does not apply. Uzbekistan. Here we go. Done. Hit save and continue. And last section, finally. Service ID, program number, and one last question. These fields, this whole section can be very confusing for you, but it is not, because you all have these numbers, okay? How to find it? Simply open your DS-2019 form. Your service ID is also known as your DS-2019 number as well. Okay? So it starts with N and followed by more digits. How you can find it? Just open your DS-2019 and it's gonna be on the top right corner, okay? So this is service ID. We're gonna be just copy pasting it. It can be different. And program number. It is Visa sponsor company specific, so it is provided on DS-2019 as well. So for example, this student's program sponsor is GeoVisions, and program number is provided here. So P4 1 2 3 4 5 digits after the hyphen. There we go. Do you intend to study in the United States? No, you are already studying in your university in Uzbekistan or any other country, so this is why please answer no. And hit next. Now you should upload your 5:5 photo. So let's upload this sample pictures. First one is this one. Hit next. Let's see if it works. Well, it doesn't. It says submitted for did not meet the image quality requirements. If you're gonna be facing such errors, please, you can keep trying or contact the studio that made your photo and ask if your picture that they made meets the requirements. Okay, let's try one more time with a different actually working photo. There we go. Have to go back. So yes, upload. Choose the working image that meets the requirements and see if it works. Yes, it does. There we go. The picture is perfect against a white or a little grayish background. If it's okay, but it does not have any shadows. It has not been edited. It's a real picture. That's it. Continue using this photo. There we go. Hit next. And review all information for one last time, okay? Every single information that you provided, starting from your name in different alphabets, of course, and until everything ends, okay, at the end. Go through every single section, review them, make sure everything is perfectly correct, because you are not allowed to fill a new DS-160 after you have your appointment, okay? For example, if you're going to be making a visa appointment using this DS-160, and then you cannot fill a new DS-160 and go with that confirmation page to your old appointment. You must have your DS-160 that you used to make your appointment, okay? This is why make sure everything is perfectly correct. And final page. In this section, please do not do anything, okay? This is it. You don't have to do anything else. This section asks you, it's a final section, it's a final page, asks you to sign and submit. So you have to fill all these questions before submitting, but do not do this. We will do it for you because we need to check all the information you provided in this application. If you submit it, we cannot change anything. So, and you will have to fill a new application form again, okay? This is why do not submit it. What you need to do is send the application ID and the answer to the security question to the manager working with you, okay? So you need to send two information, the application ID and the answer to the security question, and the manager will check your application form for you, and if everything is correct, they will submit and get the confirmation page for you and send it to your either email or Telegram, okay? Please do not submit, I'm repeating, just send the application ID and this answer to the security question to the manager working with you. And that's it for you. Congratulations on completing one of the very important steps, and please keep following the instructions of your manager. And if you have any questions, please let us know. We will be more than happy to help you. Thank you so much. Goodbye.